Hey, Brandy. It's a beautiful day outside, huh? Look at that. Beautiful, sunshiny, bright morning. So, sitting here in my chair this morning drinking some coffee. I see the sun shining out here. Beautiful day. Looks like it's 60, 70 degrees out there. Feeling really good. Gonna go outside and get some stuff done. Really motivated. And then I come over here. It's 8 degrees outside. Are you kidding me? Well, we're gonna get something done anyway. I don't care if it's 8 degrees. I'll put on a jacket and bundle up because I'm motivated to get this Starlink going today. Now, with that being said, if you remember my last video, the problem I had with the Starlink with that big connection that I had to get through the wall, some of our viewers, subscribers, came through and advised me that this end comes out of the dish here, and you can see very much lower profile, and we're not going to need anywhere as big a hole as I thought we were going to need. So thank you, William Crabtree, and the couple other guys that advised me on that, because I thought that was going to be an issue, but it's really not going to be. Usually when I check into things, there's been a couple videos where some people have really helped us out, and I appreciate you viewers putting me on the right path with some of this stuff. It's really appreciated. So let me get some more clothes on, and we'll start getting this done. All right, we got the coffee done today. I got my Nebraska jacket on, which I call these Nebraska jackets. It's like a Carhartt jacket, but it's made by this company here. But it's got a hood on it, and literally everybody that works outside in Nebraska has one of these jackets because you need a hood to block the wind if the wind's blowing. So let me show you where we're going to get started. So now, since those helpful folks have shown me that that wire comes out of the dish, we're going to start at our ending point here in the living room, which our internet's going to wind up on this little table here. There's our old one back there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through the corner down here. The garage is on the other side of this wall. And I picked up one of these cable access plates. You basically, if you knock a hole in the wall, you can put this plate over it, and the cable feeds right through this little kind of a brushy area through there, and it seals up around it so no bugs can get through. Although a rodent could probably get through that, but we're going to seal the other side up with some good sealer, silicone, whatever, to keep whatever rodents are outside to remain outside. So let's go out in the garage and I'll show you what's going on out there. So this is the garage, and you can see there was an existing satellite cable that came in from the outside. This is an exterior wall here, and ran along that top corner of the garage and then down the wall and into the living room. So this cable is abandoned. It's no longer used. I pushed it back out from the living room, and it's been disconnected on the outside up here, so we just got to pull that down. So now we're outside. There's a little bit of breeze out here, but in the sun it's not terrible. So that hole from the inside comes out right here. I don't know if you can see that little hole that's been sealed up there. All we have to do is reopen that hole, and then I'm going to put the dish right up here on this side of the peak. That way you've got wind protection over here and wind protection on the north side. So our strongest wind would be coming from behind me and from the sometimes from the east over here. So we're going to put it on the back side of the peak. So we got the wind protection here, the wind protection of the roof, the wind protection of the shelter belt on the other side. The only place it could get a super strong wind is from behind me. So we're going to make sure we fasten it the best on this south side. We'll find a good rafter to run the lag screws in. So with the wind blowing the hardest in that direction, it's going to have the most stability. And then we'll run the cable down the wall here, and then through that hole we'll eventually paint that to where it's not as noticeable. But that's the plan. It shouldn't take too long to do. Just got to round up the tools and we'll get her done. Well, one problem you got to deal with in a cold climate is after you've been outside for a minute, you come back inside into the heat, your glasses immediately fog up. Crazy. So we've gathered our tools. We've got a spade bit that is plenty big for our connection to go through. And then since we're going through two sections of the wall with the 3.5 inches in between, I got this really long pair of forceps that I keep out in the garage that I can stick through the wall and grab the thing on the other side and pull it through. If that don't work, I have a fish tape I can use to do that with. It's a little stiffer than that cable. And then I have an extended bit that I can make my initial hole all the way through the wall because I don't think this one's long enough. And don't go buy one of these. I made this years ago. I just took an old 1/2 inch bit I had, welded a 1/2 inch shaft cold roll on the end. Just make sure it's straight. I clamped it into a piece of angle iron, I believe, to hold everything straight. But I'll use that for your initial hole so I can find it on either side. And then I'll use that bit on either side of the wall to open it up. And we'll get that cable pulled through. We'll put that plate on. And then we can seal up the other side out in the garage. So we got our extended bit all the way through the wall into the garage. You don't want to go right exactly in the corner because there's going to be a stud right there in the corner that this sheetrock nails to. So you need to come over a little bit. And you don't want to be right on the bottom either. So I made plenty of room for that little cover plate I'm going to put down there. So let me show you the other side of the wall. All right, there's our other side of the bit where it came through the wall. You can see it's a little further off the floor here because the garage is actually a step down from the house. So that's going to be just fine. We'll come out of that hole. We'll run across this seal board down here. Well, actually, we'll go right up that corner to the top. We don't have to come over here. And then right out that way, I'll need to pull this old cable out and open that other hole on the outside. But I'm going to continue with this hole until we're done and I have the cable pulled through. We got our hole drilled through both sides of the wall. I'm going to get the vacuum and vacuum up this gypsum dust. Believe me, you do not want that tracked through the house. Now, at first glance, when I had bought this cover plate, I thought it was just a plate and we could get by with the smaller hole in the wall. However, upon further inspection, it's a lot bigger piece. The cover plate comes off, and this piece right here that's actually got the little brushes that the wire goes through needs a hole that size in the wall. So it's going to take a lot bigger hole. So I'm going to go out and get my inline saw and we'll cut this bigger hole so we can mount this in the wall so it's going to work correctly. Now this is what I call an inline saw. It allows you to cut square holes instead of round holes. It's got an oscillating blade on the end, which kind of oscillates like that. So I'll show you the hole. There it cuts a rectangular hole there in the wall. And I've already test fit the piece in there, it fits. So now we can get this mess cleaned up and start getting things pushed through the wall. Now my buddy Steve informed me one day after I got this that this tool head actually comes off right here. You press this little button either side, and this tool head will come off, and there's other tools heads that can go on this power unit here, and you can do other stuff. I have yet to buy anything that goes on there. You okay, Brandy? Don't be hawking up anything on the carpet. She goes outside and eats stuff and then comes in coughing like that. I don't know what she's eating. Probably grass or something. The inside portion is done. Got a nice clean installation there. Got everything vacuumed up. I just ran it along the baseboard. I've already got it plugged into the unit. We've got all of the excess wire we're going to keep in the garage coiled up behind that cabinet out there. So if we ever need to pull it this way somehow or some reason, we can. Or if we need to go towards the dish for some reason, we can take it that way as well. But I'll get Kelly's stuff put back in here in order, and we'll head outside. And normally when you're installing a plate like that, you need to make sure to run the cable through the plate before you attach it to the wall. But in this instance, I was able to run the cable through the wall and install the plate when I was done, because the other end of the cable also fit through that plate. So that was not an issue. And then that little insert just screws into the wall, and then the cover plate screws into that insert. All right, we've come out in the shop, brought out all the tools we don't need anymore, but I wanted to show you there's another tool you could use to cut that square hole if you didn't have that inline saw. You could use one of these little RotoZip router deals. Works off of my same batteries, but that would work as well. This was the old way to do it, and a lot cheaper way to do it. It's a sheetrock saw. It's a plunge saw, so you see the pointed tip. You can put that right on the sheetrock and then tap it here on the back, and that'll go right into the sheetrock, and then you just saw and then turn it, plunge it again, saw. You can do that. Now on your last cut, you got to be careful, because if you go to plunge this thing in too hard, it'll knock a big hole in your wall. Our cord comes through the wall here, as you remember, and I've got it just thrown up on top up there. I've got the old cord pulled back out of the hole. We're going to reuse those same clips to connect our new cord, and then we're going to discard this old cord. We've got the new cord run through the hole, and let's go outside and we'll show you out there. Got the new cord out of the wall, just kind of hanging here. We're obviously going to need more than that, but I didn't want to pull it all through till I needed it. So next, I'm going to go get the big ladder, and we're going to mount the base up on the roof. However, I don't have any sealant to seal up these holes or to seal up where those lag screws are going to go into the roof. And it just so happens it's lunchtime, so I'm going to be forced to go into town and get lunch and go to the hardware store. I hate doing it, but sacrifice has got to be made. If you're wondering, I'm just wearing a long sleeve shirt. It's still only 11 degrees out here, believe it or not. Beautiful sunshiny day. But here in Nebraska, if you're standing in the sun and if there's not much of a breeze, you can pretty much be out here in a t-shirt in 10-degree weather. It's really weird. It's a dry cold, like Arizona's a dry heat. They always say, oh, it's a dry heat. Well, this is a dry cold. So I'm not cold at all right now because I'm standing in the sun. Strange. Well, we're back from town. We got the sealer that we needed and the lag bolts, and we have the dish up on the roof. I've got a big piece of 100-mile-an-hour tape covering that hole until we get that cable secured, so I know how much cable we need. And then that hole, instead of just pumping it full of silicone, I'm going to cut a round plug with the correct size hole on one side of it to plug that hole. So it's solid wood behind the paneling there, so that'll be a little bit better than just a big silicone plug. We used our extension ladder to get on the roof. We have the standoff bracket there so we don't crush the gutter. And you can see the bracket on the roof. Now when it comes to which direction to install the bracket, you'll notice the dish is leaning towards the east. If we were to lean that towards the west and point it down on the roof, I don't think the dish would have enough travel to go over center, because from what I've seen, the dish is pretty much flatten out. So by mounting it to where the angle is up like that, it can rotate back towards me and it won't have an issue. It'll have plenty of travel. So that's why we made the angle go up. We left a big loop of cable up there around the stand, and then we have enough cable to fasten to the wall. If not, we'll pull some more out. But before I put this ladder away, we'll get the clips and we'll clip that cable to the wall and probably to the eave up there. So let's go inside, plug this thing in, and then I'll come out and I'll show you what the dish does once it goes through its startup process. So we've got the cable plugged into the dish. We've got the dish cable come in plugged into the bottom of the router or the wireless modem or whatever you want to call it. And now the only step is to plug in the power. So let's go outside and watch the dish. All right, we downloaded the Starlink app and we connected to the unit, and as soon as we created a Wi-Fi network name, entered our password, the dish started moving. It tilted back and turned a little bit to the south. So the unit is kind of facing northeast, I would say, and almost straight up. But it set itself. You can see the angle it's at. Did that all by itself. So let's go in and we're going to start testing speeds. Okay, we did our speed test. Very surprising. So let's show you what we got. This is our old internet. Now looking at those speeds, I can tell you that our plan has just refreshed. So that is unthrottled speed. Throttled speed is probably a third of that or less. So now let's look at Starlink speed. I would say that's pretty impressive. That's smoking fast. So we're going to finish out this installation video, and then I'm going to upload it. And then after I get done uploading, I will see how long it takes for the video to hit YouTube. All right, this is a different ending than the previous video that I uploaded. I had an audio problem with the previous video, so I had to delete that. So if you've seen that one, this is an alternate ending. But it gave me a chance to see how long it would take the video to upload. So it only took 16 minutes to upload a video that would normally take us 5 to 6 hours to upload with our previous internet, or our current one we have now, before we got the Starlink going. So that's crazy. I used to have to upload videos in the middle of the night, because if I tried to do it in the evening with Kelly here on her iPhone watching TV and with the video uploading, it would shut down our internet. So crazy fast speeds. It's like 500 times faster. It's insane. So this is going to be working wonderfully for us, and I'm glad we did it. There is a little bit upfront expense, but it's going to be well worth it in the long run. So stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. I hope this video gave you a little bit of information if you're looking for better rural internet, because the choices out there before Starlink are garbage. Absolute garbage. So hope you guys come back and see some more videos. Even watching the video when it got up on YouTube on my TV at home, it didn't have any weird, like pixelated stuff going on. Crystal clear. So loving it. So see you guys on the next video. Bye.